I proposed this Ratepayers Bill of Rights back in January of 2009 because I felt it was important to show consumers that they have rights. So many times our consumers in Mississippi buy their electric service from the only provider they can get it from. So it's important that we balance that with making sure that consumers know what their rights are and that we ensure fair and humane treatment of customers. And so we worked on this for about 2 years, finally got it passed, and I think it's a giant step on behalf of consumers in Mississippi to show them that they're more than just an account number, more than just somebody that is there to get a bill from the utility. They actually have rights too. We actually joined, Mississippi has actually joined 22 other states around the nation who have already passed some similar form of Ratepayers Bill of Rights. They might not call it that, but guaranteeing certain rights to consumers. I think it shows that the Commission is focused on putting the ratepayer first and making sure that their rights are protected. And it's just I think a good step in the right direction.
Okay. Can you talk to some about how we got to the point?
Yeah, you know, I asked my staff and members on my staff to look around the country at what kind of rules were out there that just really set out legally the rights of customers. And so we looked around the nation and came up with a pretty good listing, some of which the other commissioners voted to keep, some of which were taken out. But we looked at what was fair for customers. Let's take, for instance, one in which on days of extreme heat, where an extreme heat warning has been issued, we're saying that utility companies cannot go cut customers off on that day. Now, you would think we wouldn't have to pass a rule like that. And by and large, let me say this clearly, most of our utilities, the vast majority of them, don't cut people off on those days. But we did have an instance right in my district where during the past heat wave we had a couple of weeks ago, where a consumer was cut off when they had a 9-month-old child in the home. One other consumer was cut off on a day which it was extreme heat temperatures and they were on oxygen. So those type of instances, although they're rare, must be guarded against. And we think that it not only is good public policy in the sense that consumers will know their rights, but it also levels the playing field and makes sure that utilities read them. And we've seen some positive reaction from some of our companies. They're amending their procedures to work and make sure that that they are in compliance with the Commission's rules now.
Mm-hmm. Were there any challenges on any of these rights, any pushback?
Yeah, I think we got pushback on every one of them pretty much, but and there were some that I had included initially in that were taken out, one of which was that we would just guarantee that a customer of a utility company would actually get to speak to a human. That's another rule I hate we have to put in writing, but too many times senior citizens and other customers call up and have to go through this press 1, press 4 type thing, and they just give up, and too many times pay a charge that they may not feel that they owe, and they just can't get an answer to it. Well, that's not a good business environment. That's not a good environment for consumers. That was taken out, unfortunately, but the other commissioners have given me their word that they'll work to come back and revisit that issue and hopefully get something passed that we can live with and will protect the consumer. But so many measures in there are very self-evident, such as a consumer has a right to intervene before the Commission on anything affecting their rates or their service. Well, they've always had that right. But we wanted to make it explicit in this Bill of Rights so that each consumer would realize, hey, you know, I do play a part in my utility rates, my utility services. So some of it is purely informational. Some, like the rules about shutoffs and other things, are there to really put teeth into the process.